and in today's video I'm going to talk about my favorite concealers. These are concealers that work well for me, and I have like dry to very dry skin type. So yeah, you can be rest assured that these concealers are going to work for you as well. Now before we begin, I would like to request for all of you to just take a moment to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that, and just click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on my videos. Thank you so much for all your love and support, and I would keep needing your love and support to continue my YouTube journey. So yeah, let's get started with today's video. So basically there are two types of concealers. Like concealer is just one product, but yeah. So depending on the shade of concealer you're choosing, you can use it for two different purposes. So one is your lighter concealer, the concealer that is like a good 1 or 2 shades, a good 2 or 3 shades lighter than your foundation shades. That will help you brighten up your face. So if you can see now, like the center part of my face looks like it is a little bit more highlighted. It's lighter than the rest of my face, which is like pulling back. That is because of the contouring and the bronzing. And the lighter coverage, the lighter concealer that I used in the center of my face is where the light is hitting and it's making it come forward, and the darker parts due to the contour are pulled back, right? So for that I have used a lighter concealer in a lighter color than my foundation. Now there is another concealer, like a darker concealer that you can use. It can be the same brand concealer. One is a lighter color, one is a darker color. So the darker color is not for everyone to use in the first place. Let's be clear on that. It's not like everyone has to use a darker color concealer. A darker color concealer you can use to color correct your face. So depending on your needs, depending on how dark the pigmentation is, you might have to select whether to go for a darker concealer or a color corrector. Anyway, let's begin with the concealer. So let's start. The one concealer that I really absolutely love is the Kralin Supra color. So this is my palette. So as you can see, there are a lot of shades here. It also has the color corrector, which I use a slightly darker color in concealer to color correct under my eyes or any of my blemishes, and then I go over with the foundation. And then just from this set only, I will use a lighter color for brightening up the center part of my face. So Kralin Supra color is amazing for dry skin. Will definitely not recommend this for oily skin. This is just too heavy for oily skin. Alright, so moving on, the second one I would like to talk about is the Kiko. This is their full coverage concealer, and it is exactly that. It is their full coverage concealer. I have gone through plenty of these. I'm out of this one as well. As you can see, I've hit the pan. It comes with a small mirror as well. Number 06 in this. So this I use for a little bit of color correction. So Kiko full coverage concealer is very good for color correcting. And if you don't want to do like very light or very bright under eye area, just want to use like a foundation and just dab just on your under eye area, you can use the Kiko full coverage like concealer in a lighter shade for your under eye area as well. Alright, now let's talk about a very affordable option. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Photo Focus concealer. This one I really like a lot. This is very good for dry skin. The wand is also very nice. You just apply it on your under eye area. So this one I prefer to use for this one I have a lighter color in this, to brighten up my under eye area, the center part of my face. I use this concealer. Once I use like a darker concealer to color correct. So this one is really very nice. It's very affordable. It goes well with the Photo Focus foundation as well. So I really enjoy this concealer as well. Alright, so next I would like to talk about Maybelline Fit Me. I'm out of that, but I've used so many of those concealers. Out of that concealer right now, but you can see how it looks right here. So this is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. Now this has medium coverage. This will not give you the most flawless coverage. So what I like to do is, again, I like to color correct and then apply my foundation, and then I like to use the Maybelline Fit Me concealer to brighten up my under eye and the center part of my face. I love the formula. It's non-drying and it blends beautifully. The finish it gives is really very beautiful. I absolutely love the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, one of my favorite concealers of all times. Next concealer that I would like to talk about is the LA Girl Pro Conceal Concealer. Now this comes in a huge color range. That is one of their plus points. So you can use this. They also have color correctors in this same packaging. So orange, green, lavender, yellow, all the color correctors you get. Then you get the darker shades in this concealer also for like contouring purposes, and also the darker colors you can use for color correction as well. The only thing I don't like is I somehow do not enjoy the applicator or this comes with. What I do is I just squeeze some product at the back of my hand, and then either I'll use my fingers or I'll use a concealer brush to apply that. Other than that, this is a phenomenal product because it sets really quickly. So you have to work very fast with it, but once it sets, it doesn't move. So it's really good. Like when you don't want to use too much powder on your skin, especially dry skin, you really don't want to go very heavy with the powders on your under eye area. So during summer months, I like to use this because then I don't need to set my under eye heavily with the powder. This concealer I really like because I can use the bare minimum powder required to set the concealer and I'm good to go. Like the under eye area becomes very flawless when I use this particular concealer. Highly recommend this. Don't love the applicator, but you have ways to work around that. The actual product is very, very nice. Let's talk about two of my most favorite concealers, most used concealers, and yeah, one of them is the Pack Spotlight Concealer. Now this one is ideally not the best for dry skin. It's absolutely good for normal to oily skin tones, but but absolutely wonderful for normal to oily skin. But the coverage it provides is phenomenal. Like one of the most full coverage concealers you'll find out there at this price point especially. So I really enjoy this. I make it work for me. I just make sure that my under eye area is very nicely hydrated. So there are ways that I make this work for me. So just make sure if you're using this, because the finish of this on the face is also very beautiful. But it is not the most ideal concealer for dry skin. So if you don't know how to work around it, you can skip it. That's fine. I gave you enough options for affordable concealers. But yeah, if you keep your under eye area nicely moisturized, you prime it well, you prep it well, and use this sparingly because a little goes a long way. So don't use a lot of this. So whenever I'm using this concealer, I use it in like a very, very thin layer. Oily skin people, this is really very good concealer because it keeps the oil at bay for a very longer period of time. So really enjoy this concealer a lot. Now I'd like to talk about my favorite concealers from high-end, low-end, drugstore, affordable, mid-range, you name it. This is my favorite concealer. This is L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. My only issue with this is they come in very limited shades. I don't know, they did come out with quite many shades. I saw like a lot of reviews also from Indian influencers on this one, but somehow now I can just find 3 shades in this, and thankfully I have one shade that works with me. This one is that works for me. I think this one is 312. Yeah, 312 Amber. This is a full coverage hydrating concealer which does everything, which has the best. It has the coverage of the Pack concealer and it has the consistency of the Maybelline Fit Me. So I absolutely enjoy this concealer. So yeah, these are my favorite affordable concealers at the moment. I thoroughly enjoy using all of these and they all come highly recommended. Do try them out. I'm sure you're going to love them. If you enjoyed today's video, please share it with your friends and family. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Bye bye.